because I'm betting on the people in that locker room, whether it be our players or our coaches.
Well, first, he's not actually betting. This is dangerous waters these days. Yes, figuratively speaking, he was, yeah. I mean, I love that he would figuratively bet on us.
Yo, 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 what up? It's Chris Simms. It's Chris Simms Unbuttoned. It's Monday. It's live. It's YouTube. It's 10 a.m. Connor Rogers is here. We're ready to talk some ball right now, right? Been talking a lot. I was actually just talking to Connor, right? We've been talking ball. I've been talking ball for 48 hours straight between college football yesterday, today, all of that. Just listening to Sean McVay. He's crazy, hoarse as hell, because he's yelling on the sideline all through his throat. You see his vein popping out, everything there. The Rams are damn good. The Rams are the best team in football right now. And that's not debatable, I don't think.
It feels like the one everybody is so comfortable with. Like when you go through the Colts and the Patriots and the Lions, obviously.
Yeah.
It's like, this. Even Seattle. And Seattle had a nice bounce back week. But the Rams, it's like, no, the Rams.
There's really not anything to pick apart, right? I think that's the big thing. I think they're the one team out there that I think we don't question anything about them right now. Even the Eagles, as great as their team is and all that, we're still going to question their offense. We're going to talk about that. Everybody seems to have a little flaw. The Rams seem to be clicking on all cylinders. That's why they got, they're one of the best records in the NFL with the Denver Broncos, the New England Patriots. What's up with you? Everything good?
Everything's good, man. Yeah. Rocking and rolling. Another Jets weekend in the books. Another uneventful-ish Jets weekend in the books.
Did you rather have your weekends or my weekends as a Giant fan? What do you think's better?
That's a tough one. Because the Giants are, to their credit, entertaining on offense and in every game, and somehow unfathomably lose every game in the fourth quarter.
We're fun. We're fun.
Yes.
But I don't know. I mean, it is actually emotionally draining at this point.
Right.
It really is.
But now it's probably crossed the threshold for Giant fans that it's like, you know what? The season's over playoff-wise. We're playing well, but we're losing. Some fans think that's the best balance.
Yeah, I hear you.
I understand.
You'd like to win every now and then.
But especially from a player's mindset, winning is important no matter what. I think we've gone too far into the tanking culture.
Agreed. Plus, the players, right? They want to feel good on a Monday.
They're not thinking about who we're drafting second overall.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They don't want to go in and everybody be in a bad mood at Wednesday practice, right? Because oh gosh, here we are. We're in the doldrums. We lost again. So yes, the tanking thing, I get it, but that's why it's so hard in the NFL because you got a guy like Mike Kafka who's like, wait, I'm trying to coach for my job here. I'd like to be a head coach. He's trying to win. The players are trying to win. We'll see where it all goes. But yeah, that was another devastating loss by my New York Giants. So at least you guys had an offense yesterday with Tyrod Taylor to a degree.
Yeah, actually threw over 200 yards.
Yeah, I mean,
that was a nice baby step.
You had to respect the passing game, right?
We're going to recap it all.
Yeah. Well, let's hit it all.
Yeah, but appreciate everybody watching live. We are live every Monday at 10 a.m. on YouTube, so love seeing everybody in the chat. We'll read plenty of stuff from the chat today. We're also live on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern. If you can't catch us on Mondays or you just want that double dose, of course, in the Chris Simms Unbuttoned
Get that
feed.
double dose.
There you go. The Week 12 recap, Chris, you know where we're starting this. The Chiefs, their season was hanging on by a thread, and it felt like after 3 quarters, oh, God, it really could already be over.
Right.
And then it all changed in the fourth quarter and overtime where the Chiefs outscored the Colts 14-0. More importantly, or just as importantly, they outgained them 236-18 in total yards in that fourth quarter and overtime. What changed in this game?
Yeah, I think there's a few things. First off, down 20-9, like you're mentioning, starting the fourth quarter, all that. But I think at the same time, they probably looked at it and went like, hey, we're down by 11, but we've really kind of controlled the game, right? They had the ball. They were controlling time of possession. The Colts and their offense weren't doing a whole lot. But there they were, down by 11 points, but not out of it. And you sit there and you go, wait, they had some tough breaks. Mahomes, of course, with the interception, pick 6 to start the game. Bam, we're down 7-0 right off that. Then they climb back into it, and at 20-9, you're going, oh, they're going to go down and score here. Kareem Hunt fumbles, and you go, holy crap, it just must not be their year.
Right, everything's going
because you kind of thought, like, right then you were like, oh man, they fumbled now. Now we're starting to get into like, is there going to be enough time for them to, have enough possessions here and everything there? But slowly but surely, or I shouldn't say slowly but surely, because I felt like they picked apart the Colts defense for the better part of the football day. But at the end of the game in the fourth quarter, it felt like, they started to make explosive plays on the offensive side of the ball. I kind of broke it down on Football Night in America last night. The middle of the field started to be a huge spot right? We saw Rashee Rice
Yes.
down the middle, man-to-man coverage. We saw Xavier Worthy, man-to-man coverage. All these crossing routes. The Colts looked like they really got into, and I don't know what the numbers are going to say, and this is where you're the man here, right? It seemed like in the fourth quarter, late third quarter, they played a ton of man-to-man coverage, more than they usually do, and more than I would advise anybody to do against the Kansas City Chiefs. And then on top of that, I think what also kind of confused me is the Colts had moments in the game where they did their old Lou Anarumo rush 3, drop 8, and play different coverages with those 8 guys.
Yeah.
And it felt like that was giving the Chiefs problems, right? But at the same time, they got out of that. And why they got out, I don't know. Maybe they felt like they were getting gashed in the run game because the Chiefs stayed crazily consistent with the run yesterday.
Oddly.
Right? I mean, you
Yes.
never see Andy Reid run the ball 37 times with a true running play. But yeah, that was something that jumped out to me was the aggressive man-to-man coverage by the Colts and the Chiefs dialing up the right plays to expose it.
Well, good eye as always, Chris. In the fourth quarter, they played man coverage 47% of the time.
I'm shocked by that.
This is a zone team.
A zone team, and you're going to play a team that when they start to know what you do and what you're playing, they are going to dial up the right plays eventually. That's where I was, so I'm glad to hear that because, yeah, I haven't, it's Monday
nuts.
morning. I haven't watched the film here, guys. I've been up. I did a 7 a.m. show with PFT and Florio and all that. So, yeah, but I'm just going with my eye there. That was something I did not get. And you do that again, to the Chiefs. They're going to dial up the right plays, and then you're arguably dialing up the right plays with one of the clutchest, if not the clutchest quarterback in the history of football. And with all that, and the great defensive play, and the Colts probably playing the sloppiest game of their year as far as penalties, right? All of that combined is why we're sitting here praising the Chiefs right now for a big-time win.
Yeah, so their season is very much alive after that. And for the Colts, I think there's a little bit of the concern button. They're 1-3 in their last 4 games right now.
Definitely.
And for the Chiefs, credit to them to holding Jonathan Taylor to 58 rushing yards because it's a lot easier said than done, but the Colts are 0-2 when he doesn't reach 60-plus this year, which good luck trying to match that with other teams. But if you keep Jonathan Taylor in check and force them to play a different way, it significantly enhances your odds to win the game against the Colts.
It felt like they crowded the line of scrimmage. It felt like that was number one thing, was not let him go off in the run game. They also did, I thought, what we talked about with great offenses sometimes. They were like, we can't be sound in everything here. They have too many answers. We got to kind of blitz them a little bit. We might have to do call some defenses where we're like, this is dicey, but we can't sit here and just play normal defense all game long. And I did feel like they found ways to expose the Colts' pass protection at times. Not that it led to sacks, but it led to Daniel Jones getting the ball and being like, oh, gosh, somebody's coming free. I got to get it out right now, right? And you think about the football game, too, on top of that, Connor. We never really saw the Colts attack down the field. I mean, there's very few plays for one of the most explosive offenses we've seen. You said it right. Jonathan Taylor never broke a big run. And then other than 1 or 2 passes, maybe to Tyler Warren, and maybe there was one other one that I'm forgetting. Maybe Alec Pierce had one.
Kept him in check. He had a 26-yard catch. That's all he had the whole game.
That was all game, right?
That's pretty damn good.
Yeah, and he's the guy that stretches the field for them. So that was the other thing I'm interested when I do watch some film here later today and tomorrow morning to go, what exactly did the Chiefs defense do to the Colts, and why couldn't the Colts, where it looked like the Chiefs were playing aggressive coverages and crowding the line of scrimmage, why couldn't the Colts get open or attack down the football field that way? That to me is, a question that I need to dig a little deeper into.
Yeah, and against man coverage, it wasn't always perfect for Mahomes, but he had 2 of his biggest throws on third downs against man coverage. He had the touchdown on 3rd and 4 before the half.
Right.
And then he had the overtime throw on 3rd and 7. I want to go back and see who this one was to again.
And that's when he hit the Xavier Worthy.
Xavier Worthy, where
Right.
Xavier Worthy turned back to the ball. It was an amazing catch. Mahomes was about to get smashed.
Right.
So it's not always about the raw numbers against man coverage, but the plays you do make that change the entire game, and those are arguably his 2 throws that changed the game.
Yeah, I think so.
There's
two of them, and yeah, we showed a little highlight package in Football Night in America last night because they asked the same thing. What was one of the keys to the game? And to me, it was like, man, the fourth quarter, Mahomes man to man, the crossing routes, inside posts like you just saw there with Xavier Worthy. Those are really hard to cover in man to man coverage all the time. So, and then like you said, it wasn't perfect all the time, and I'm glad you said that, because the other thing the Colts really did yesterday was they didn't rush Mahomes. They played the let's not let him scramble and do so much.
Yeah.
But within that, a few of those plays, okay, they didn't really keep him in there. And they kind of just, okay, he didn't break out and make a big run, but he sat back there enough patiently and finally learned after a few times where he threw the ball a little quick. And you're like, and even Romo said it at one point, you don't have to throw it that quick here. Like, you got time, sometimes the quarterback, the clock goes too long and you go, I just got to get it out. I got to get it out.
Yeah.
And there is a little bit of a nuance to look around and go, wait, they're not really rushing me. Hold on. Let me take another deep breath. Let me pat the ball one more time. Let me just move a little and see if I can't manipulate the coverage a little bit or somebody can separate. And he made a few plays that way too. But the Chiefs defense, the crossing routes against man-to-man, and then the greatest patience I've ever seen Andy Reid have with the running game, to me, those would be the three things that I would look at to go, yeah, that's why the Chiefs won this football game. That's why they're still alive, and that's why we're all excited about Thanksgiving Day with them going to play the Cowboys now.
So their first one-score win of the season. They were 0-5, and we know they were the kings of the one-score win last year, so a big one for the Chiefs. The Can 28-46 weighing in. Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold are both the same. They could beat bad teams and fold under pressure against good teams. What do you think of that take?
I think that they're going to have to deal with that.
That's the narrative right now.
Right.
And it's a little proof in the pudding.
It's fair. Yeah. I understand that. I get it, right? I feel like, do I feel as strongly as that right there? Maybe not, because I certainly can sit there and tell you, hey, listen, there's been some other games here this year. I mean, they played the Broncos and they beat them clutch, right? There's been some moments, but no, I think Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, they are where they are for a reason, and they're going to have to, they're going to be the ones that are going to have to squash these ghosts of you can't win the big game or you can't pull the team through in a big moment. And I understand those questions. And then when you play a game like that yesterday where, you had a 20-9 lead, you do nothing, outstanding really in the second half of the game. Daniel Jones made no plays, nothing like that. Yeah, the people are going to question that, and I understand that. And the Colts, they still got a rough road ahead of them here. They're 8-3. Yeah, they're a good football team. But damn, could they lose to the Texans next week? Of course they can. The Texans are the best defense in football, as you've heard me say 9 zillion times this year. The Jaguars after that. The Seahawks after that.
At Seattle.
The 49ers after that. The Jaguars again after that. The Houston Texans after that.
Division could be on the line.
The division could be on the line. And to our watcher's point here, he's going to have to prove it, and they're going to have to play good football here down the stretch. Not forget to win the division to get in the playoffs. I mean, that's where we are here with this little murderer's row of a schedule they got coming up.
Especially when you're in a division, you have multiple games left against Jacksonville and Houston. They are two of the most high-variance teams in the NFL season. Some weeks, Jacksonville and Houston looks like they could win the division. Other weeks, it looks like they could lose to literally anybody.
Exactly.
And I think that kind of scares you because it's not as comfortable of a feeling.
I feel like Houston's got it going a little bit.
Houston, they definitely do. And
if they beat Denver a few weeks ago, we'd be sitting here thinking,
dangerous.
Yeah, they're dangerous. Watch out. And, of course, C.J. Stroud being banged up. But I feel like they figured out how they're going to play.
Right.
Not that it's pretty on offense, but they know who they are at least, and they're playing at least consistently to who they are the last few weeks.
So our next game was an absolute thriller. The Cowboys beat the Eagles. They were down 21-0 very early in this game. It's a 21-point comeback, the largest in franchise history. 2014 against the Rams, 1999 against the Washington team, 1984 against New Orleans. So for Dallas, this was historical in a sense, and just this one felt, Chris, when it did start to turn, it was like lightning. The Eagles could not press a single button right, all the way down to returning punts, where Xavier Gibson makes a horrible decision, and that flips the field.
Right.
It did. Philly was on a 4-game win streak, as ugly as things have been for them at times this year.
Yeah.
They had 14 penalties. That tied a game high under Sirianni when you include the playoffs, so that was pretty shocking by them. And now for Dak, 19 straight home division wins. That's the second longest streak since the 1970 merger tie with Tom Brady.
Yeah, that's incredible. And I'd sit here and go, yeah, it's incredible. And the NFC East has been better than, the AFC East with Tom Brady. At least that's my first thought. I mean, Washington was in the
pretty fair.
NFC Championship game. The Eagles have been to the Super Bowl 3 times in the last 8-9 years, right? So, I mean, nobody in the AFC East with Tom Brady can say that. It is amazing. There's no doubt about that. I think, like you talked about too, Eagles sloppy, just like the Colts were with all the penalties. Way too many penalties to think you're going to be good football teams that way. And then it finally caught up to them, the Eagles. It finally caught up. They finally met their match, and where you weren't just going to be able to get away with, we played good offense for a quarter, and now the other 3 quarters we're going to be below average, and we'll still win the game because the defense will hold it down for us, right? That didn't happen here. It didn't happen. And then I think on top of that, almost like we talked about with the Chiefs game too, they're down 21-0, but I always try to put myself in like what if I was on the other team, right? I look at that and they went down to 21-0, and I go, I think there's a part of them probably looked at it and went, wait, we're down 21-0, but we haven't done that bad here, right? We haven't done bad, right? Just so they go for it on 4th and 3 at the midfield and give the Eagles short field touchdown to start the game. Right. The second drive of the game, the second touchdown by the Eagles punted the ball. The Cowboys blocked it. The referees, continuing their shitty year that they're having throughout the NFL, didn't know it was blocked and called roughing the punter. It extended the drive for the Eagles, and then they go down and score a touchdown, right? So, and then you take that with, the Cowboys, they drove down, Turpin fumbled around the 20-yard line. They drove down, Dak Prescott threw an interception in the end zone, right? So I think they could look at it down 21-0 and go, yeah, we're down, but it's not like we're getting steamrolled.
Right,
we're not getting outclassed.
You said with the Chiefs.
Exactly.
Right. There's moments.
There's moments to where you on a sideline can sit there and go, hey, we're losing, but let's stay in this. Like, we're messing up ourselves here. They're not doing this to us. Turpin tripped over his own feet and fell into our own lineman, right? I mean, it wasn't like I made a dumb mistake. Coach made a dumb call again by going for it at midfield and giving the Eagles offense that has a ton of pressure on it a little head start like Dan Campbell did last week. So I think with that, and then finally also within that, getting some positives, and the Cowboys have some things that match up with the Eagles. Right? We just talked about, 21-0 lead, right? Usually that's Eagles front 4 time. What did we even talk about the Eagles front 4 yesterday?
No.
Right? The Cowboys have invested in their O-line. They got a bunch of first rounders. They got a bunch of bad, big-ass mofos up there. So they're one of the few teams that go, whoa, you're gigantic, Philadelphia, but you're not going to just push us back into the pocket all game long. The other thing we've talked about with the Eagles when we broke them down last week a little bit is if you want to beat them, you got to throw the ball outside the numbers and down the field a little bit.
They have the guys to do that.
They got the guys, and they did it yesterday.
Right.
Go back and watch the highlights. You're going to see about 8 of the 10 best plays of the day are outside the numbers, throws to Pickens, throw to CeeDee Lamb, and then they finally got some guys over the middle because I think Philadelphia was like, whoa, they're beating us outside, and we have some banged-up secondary players here. We got to help protect that a little bit. And then they started hitting guys over the middle, too. So all of that, it was a really good game by the Cowboys. We know how explosive they are. The moves that Jerry Jones has made between George Pickens and Quinnen Williams and all that, they're pay off. There's no doubt. You can't deny that. As much as you want to make fun of Jerry Jones, or I do at least at times, for Micah Parsons and all that, they have a fighting chance here in the NFC right now, and they are dangerous because of that quarterback and those 2 damn receivers they got on the outside.
I mean, their mission to round out the team, and I'm not advocating trading Micah Parsons, but at least their vision of rounding out the team is paying some dividends now. Like you said, it's like, we have a lethal number 2 wide receiver that looks like a number 1 a lot of the times. He caught all 4 of his contested opportunities. He's dynamite after the catch.
Who you taking right now, him or CeeDee Lamb?
Right now, today, like I need somebody today. It's him.
Pickens,
He's more confident right now.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb is not CeeDee Lamb right now.
No.
He'll get back to being himself, but it's just Pickens has it all working. Like
Pickens has got it all working.
When he's involved, and this has been him since college, back at Georgia. When you involve George Pickens, he's unstoppable. Then there's times where things get a little lackadaisical, and Dallas acquired him and said, we'll keep him involved and have him rolling. And he's going to get paid a lot of money, and he's picked a perfect time.
He's going to command a contract bigger than CeeDee Lamb.
It's going to be in the 30s.
I think it's going to be upper 30s.
Yeah.
I think we're in
north
that.
Of 35.
We're in that, and him at his best, he's better than CeeDee Lamb at his best, right? I think he's a freakier guy,
I don't mean physically gifted.
Yeah, I don't mean to disrespect CeeDee Lamb. I mean, he's better, and I've been one that poo-pooed CeeDee Lamb in the past. He's damn good. I know that. I totally get that. Pickens, though, to me is, just got another gear when it comes to having the ball in the open field, right? I think he's even a little bit better in the 50-50 balls when they're up in the air, and his ability to adjust and all that, right? That's incredible. But, yeah, they're special in that department. So you couple that together, good offensive line, a quarterback that's damn good, and you go, hey, if their defense can just hang in there a little bit, which it has the last few weeks, you go – the Eagles, who have played the best defense in football the last 3 or 4 weeks, they gave up 24 points, and it really would have been a lot more if the Cowboys didn't mess a few things up. And I think that speaks to how good Dallas is on that side of the ball, and they got a chance here. And, of course, we know they got a big one coming up on Thanksgiving against the Chiefs.
And I like your shout-out to the offensive line. I mean, they were really good in this game, and they've invested a lot into this with Tyler Smith, with Tyler Booker, even when you got a reserve in the capacity that Nathan Thomas is. Nathan Thomas is a nice find in a league that's hard to find depth O-line.
Definitely.
He is somebody that he's reliable for them off the bench in any moment as well.
You know, I've been watching that Eagles D. I got a little man crush on that Eagles D-line. I mean, we've talked about it for the last 3 weeks.
Because they have waves of people.
Waves of people. Their starting 4 is like you want to drool over it. And yesterday was the first time, and maybe since before their bye week, where I went, Jalen Carter, I don't really remember saying his name a whole lot yesterday. You know, Jalen Phillips, who's been awesome in every game since he's been there, it didn't feel like he was around Dak Prescott a lot at all. You know, so that's what I think's amazing. And then I think on top of that, and the other part of where I'm interested is just, yes, the Eagles offense. We had a good start to the game. The Cowboys, we know, are not real talented in the secondary. I do want to see what the Cowboys did a little bit in the second half. That's what I don't have a great feel for, unlike where I said the Chiefs and the Colts. If the Colts are playing man-to-man, I felt like it. You know, but early in the game, think about it too. I mean, a lot of the Eagles' plays were just one-on-one shots on the outside. It wasn't like it was surgical, unbelievable offensive play. It was good. I like it. There is something, as we've talked about before, when they attack, that's almost enough for them. And when they take care of the ball, you just go, hey, they make a few plays and Jalen doesn't turn it over, they win, period. But here was a game where that wasn't just going to work. You had to do more than that. And Dallas was one of the first teams that put them to the test that way. And finally, the chickens came home to roost on the offensive side of the ball there. And, yeah, they were no points, nothing for a whole half of a football game against the Dallas Cowboy defense.
It's shocking.
With your offense and that talent, yes, it's shocking.
I could tell you just from the raw numbers, against the 24 pass plays the Cowboys faced in the second half, they only blitzed 5 times.
Right.
And it was only it was all 5-man rushes.
All 5-man rushes.
So they were playing coverage.
They were.
They were just like, we're not going to be over-aggressive here. We're going to make him find the spots.
Do you have coverages breakdowns?
I don't know if that's going to be up yet. That might be a tomorrow topic. Let's see.
Right.
Because I'm really fascinated.
I'm fascinated to whether they tried to, protect them, play too deep more, everything there. But yeah, I mean, that's a great luxury when you don't have to blitz and you feel like, hey, Quinn and Williams and our front 4 can get there a little bit and contain Jalen Hurts that way. That's something that the Cowboys are certainly going to benefit from.
So back to the Eagles. We have some people weighing in here with really good stuff. Gemma89 said, to be fair, Jalen can be better, but that play calling does not let him be, especially when the run game is not working. They are too predictable.
I know. This is where everybody's got to get the part of and I have a lot of people in my mentions and people get the reason the offense is simple is because of Jalen, though.
Right.
See, that's where people are missing it. They're going, wait. And I'm going, no. I know from enough people there, Jalen Hurts does not want the offense to be any more than what it is. He does not. That's the way it is. I haven't been saying these things for a year because I'm just thinking or I feel or whatever. When I make comments like this, it's like, I know. I've been told by so many freaking people. And that's why you're hearing what you heard last week out of Philadelphia a little bit. With Derek Gunn and everybody else. They're starting to realize, because everybody's starting to dig in a little bit and go, wait, what is going on here? What is it? And you're starting to hear people that are in the know in Philadelphia, they're telling you, Jalen Hurts, they don't, Gemma89, how can they run the different plays when he won't run the basic plays they have the right way? Do you think the coach is going to go, oh, hey, let's invent some new plays and do some stuff? He doesn't do any of the simple plays we do right anyways, so let's put him in the trust tree. He'll do our complicated, creative ones. He'll do those the right way. And again, Nick Sirianni didn't get the job because he had 4 plays on his offense. That's not why he got it. The offense has been hijacked by the quarterback. And that has led to the simplicity. And then, of course, the simplicity leads to underwhelming moments against good teams that can kind of figure it out at times if they have the right physical matchups. And that is the problem there. So, yes, again, I know it's a beaten subject. The offense has issues, but I think if you talk to anybody and if you studied the game and really watched the film, you'd go, the number one issue is the quarterback. And that's what I think everybody in Philly is sick of it in the organization. That's why it's finally filtering out, because they're like, we're all getting blamed, but there's one guy to blame, and he's getting all the credit. And they've had enough, and I think that's where we're at right now.
And I think people have been trying to dissect what A.J. Brown has been saying. Is it directed at the staff?
A.J. Brown is taking leadership because he's going, everybody in the locker room's looking for somebody to say it like it is, and he's the guy that says it like it is. That's his reputation in the locker room. So he's tried to put it out there. But it's a sensitive subject because it's the quarterback, and he's the highest paid guy on the team. He won the Super Bowl. He's an MVP. Yeah. The owner loves him. Okay, puts him on his private jet with him, and they hang out. And so they all know. They don't have to get a memo. They know. It's like, but the memo is don't talk about Jalen Hurts too much, right? And that's where they are a little bit. So, yes, they don't need to do a lot like we've talked about. If they could just spice it up just a little bit, they will be very tough to stop. But as we see, that just doesn't seem to be happening there in Philly.
Okay, Gemma, with a good reply here. This is a good conversation.
Good,
and I like that you're trying to kind of bust this narrative of, it being on the coaches. K. Gemma said, but why did the offense under Steichen make him look so much more dynamic with the RPOs? He also does it more in the big playoff games. So what is the disconnect in these games compared to the playoffs?
Right, all right. So the playoff game, he didn't do shit, against the Packers and the Rams last year. He did nothing. He had the one game against Washington, and then he had to play the Kansas City Chiefs, who had no chance of stopping Saquon Barkley in the run game unless they put 8 guys at the line of scrimmage the whole game. I mean, he got to play against cover 0, plays that Mahomes or Josh Allen or Brady or whatever would go, oh my gosh, I wish somebody would play these defenses against me on the regular basis like they played Jalen Hurts, right? Also, Shane Steichen in that first year, first off, they do some of those RPOs still. The league has caught on to a lot of that stuff. So a lot of that stuff doesn't work anymore. That at that time was still kind of new, and how they packaged it together. The defenses were still figuring out, how do we stop all these little answers they've got. Teams have figured that out now. And so now it's time to move to a next phase or add more to your offense, and they haven't done that, right? And that's, one of their issues right there. But it's good conversation. No
Absolutely.
doubt.
A great special team shout out here. D. Sauter, 324. Chris, if you review this game, please watch the all-22 of the player who forced the fumble on the punt.
Yeah.
Absolute baller and incredible effort. Of course, that was Elijah Clark.
From Jersey.
Yeah, that's right. Syracuse's own.
Yeah.
He was initially pancaked by Sidney Brown.
Yeah.
Got up, ran down the field,
Here
laid the wood.
He's down on the ground right here.
We have just an incredible effort. And this is excellent UDFA scouting, because Elijah Clark, his last 2 years in college, and you don't see this from upperclassmen, played over 200 snaps of special teams.
Right.
So when you look at UDFAs, you find guys with a particular set of skills.
Definitely.
Like this. And that's how they make the team.
Yes.
Because he's an excellent special team player like he was in college.
Yeah, that's right. You said it right, Connor. And they got great value to teams, like you said. And
Game-changing division
hustle,
gameplay.
Tough, right? That's what you want in your special teams guy. And then has no regard for his body. And he throws his body around, and,
That's life on
we've
special
seen Xavier
teams.
Gibson, who stupidly caught the ball at the 1-yard line, which was the first mistake. I mean, let the ball not go in the end zone. And then, then it became, oh, crap, I got it at the 1. I got to make up for it. I got to try to have a good return. And you probably try to do a little too much. And, he took a tough hit there. And then even with that, the Eagles' defense stops them.
Right.
They go for it on 4th and 4. But the Cowboys' defense comes right back, makes a stop. They get a short field. And what was it? 2 plays to George Pickens, and it was like there was 3-play drive, but 2 passes to Pickens. Like, oh, touchdown! Watch out! Here come the Cowboys, and we know how the game ended, all in all. But it was a fun game to watch. And I just think the possibilities of, we know the Eagles are awesome, but there's still issues, and we want more from the offense. Again, it's what's there to be had. And that's what the Eagles drop the ball with a lot of times on the offensive side of the ball. We come away and we go, they won. Oh, the stats were pretty good. But you've heard me say this a million times in my life. Yeah, the stats are pretty good. You won. But if I turn on the film and go, damn, people are open everywhere, I want to go, damn, yeah, you won. You should have won by 30. You should have won by 25. Instead, we're squeaking it out. And that's where you're getting with the Eagles. And this is what you worry about if you're an Eagles fan. You have one of these games at the wrong time, and then all of a sudden you're not going to the Super Bowl or you're out of the playoffs or whatever else. And that's where they just got to try to fix things a little bit before they get too deep into it here.
I think it's two things with the Eagles. I think one, and this is a compliment, we hold them to a different standard because they won the Super Bowl,
right?
And they're just as loaded this year as the team that won the Super Bowl. So they're held to a different standard than the Jets or the Raiders, right? So that's always going to create harder conversations. Two, Chris, and this is what you've been alluding to for a long time this year, they're not going to win consistently in the playoffs playing the way they're playing right now. The style.
That's what I'm trying to say. Exactly right.
We're not it's not make the playoffs. We know they're going to do that. They're that good. It's, are they going to get through the gauntlet that is the NFC this year playing this way? And we're starting to get indicators that that's going to be really challenging.
Exactly. That's what we're talking about. We know they're good. We're past that conversation. We're talking about, if you want to get to the Super Bowl, these things are got to get fixed. This is what we brought up with the Bills. We have these same conversations too.
Exactly. Different standard.
We've had conversations about the Chiefs too, right? The Chiefs, you're not going to win games this way or go deep into the deep into the playoffs that way. That's all we're trying to say. And yes, you're not going to beat the Rams if you play this way. I mean, again, the Rams, who weren't even playing their best football early in the year, if they had the kicker that kicks now, they win that game and they're, freaking one-loss team. Close to undefeated, but yeah, they got to fix these issues. They don't want to be, in some game in the divisional round where we're controlling the game. We fumbled a kick return by accident. Oh no, the other offense did make a big play. Wait, we were kind of doing good, and now the offense is stalling out, and we played good, but we've made a few mistakes, and now, we're down 17-3, and we got to throw the ball and come back, and we can't do it. That's what we're talking about, and that's where it's you hope it gets better.
And the reason we're talking about it is one of those NFC teams in the Rams who blow out the Bucs. 34-7 is the final score on Sunday Night Football. This one was over pretty quickly.
Not as quick as Notre Dame Syracuse, but close.
That was over in
4 minutes.
4 minutes. It was 21-0 with barely any offensive possession at all. The Rams 9-2, one game ahead of Philly and Chicago. Yes, Chicago for the number 1 seed in the NFC. Stafford 3 touchdown passes, no picks. Just another day at the office for him. That's 30 on the season with only 2 interceptions on the season. The Bucs are now 6-5.
Yeah.
They're tied with the Panthers, who play tonight on Monday Night Football against the Niners for the lead
trouble
in the NFC South. They are in trouble. Baker Mayfield, of course, left this game at halftime. He has a left shoulder sprain. Of course, that's his non-throwing shoulder per Todd Bowles. He's going to get an MRI today.
Yeah.
Was he hurt before the Hail Mary, and then they tried the Hail Mary?
Yeah.
He was hurt before the Hail Mary.
And then it's like something with the Hail Mary when he tried to throw his shoulder out of there.
Yes.
He slipped a little bit as he was trying to crow hop. And then I think trying to throw that front shoulder out of the way. I'm lefty, of course. I know it's the other way. I think it was probably a little loose or whatever, maybe a slight separation, and you do something like that real aggressive and it, just doesn't feel right, and that was it. But yeah, he had heard it a little earlier in the football game.
Maybe though also, and I know Baker tries to play through literally anything, even to his detriment at time. I credit him, but maybe also at half it was like there's no reason for you to be out there getting clobbered, hurt when we're getting clobbered. I think the Rams, if they needed to, could have kept scoring the entire night.
Oh, totally.
Like they could have, if they needed to win 60-24, they would have won 60-24.
Yes. I mean, knowing Baker, he probably wanted to be out there, right? It was probably to the point where it's like, wait, he could maybe play, but it is 31-7. I don't know if it's the best thing. We'll see. I'm interested to hear what the diagnosis is here, but yeah, I mean. 4 weeks ago, I would have told you I think the Bucs are one of the Super Bowl teams, right? But within saying that, I thought also that they'd fix some of their secondary issues by now. I think that's where I went wrong on the Bucs. I thought that Todd Bowles and company would be able to figure out a little bit how to save the secondary. And not saying that they needed to be one of the best in football, but just, again, if you're an average defense with that offense, you go, oh, okay, they're going to be tough to beat. But the problem is right now, the offense not at full strength. Bucky Irvin looks like he's coming back next week. Chris Godwin's still not, part of the mix really all the way. And then I think on top of that, when you just go, man, their secondary just cannot cover. They can't make any plays, right? I mean, people are wide open everywhere. It doesn't matter what you do. It's like you can surgically destroy them, and then when they try to stop the surgicality, you can just destroy them with bombs over the top like we've seen the last few weeks. And that's tough on the Buccaneers. Put so much pressure on their offense. And like you said, the Rams they're almost perfect right now with how they're playing, right?
Yeah, it's wild to watch. TJ Woowit said the Panthers going to steal the division. So while that is on the table, Chris, their next 2 games are at San Francisco tonight and home against the Rams.
Oof. Wow. Yes.
So, yes, the opportunities there as the Bucs are skidding.
Right.
But they are going to have to really earn it, the Panthers.
Who the Bucs got on their schedule coming up, right? But all in all, I mean, listen, it's up for grabs.
Cardinals, Saints, Falcons.
Okay, so they got a little bit of an easier schedule here. Yeah, this is going to be tough on Carolina. I don't expect them to win tonight in San Francisco. I'm going to take the 49ers in a close one.
Yeah, they're almost a touchdown underdog, Carolina.
Okay, so then there's the Tampa schedule for everybody. So it is very favorable down the stretch for them. There's not really one team you look at to go, they're better than them other than the Panthers. The Panthers is the 2 teams, and they got to play them twice. It's going to figure itself out a little bit. The Panthers, on the other hand, too, and I know, this is not about them, but hey, they can run the ball. We know that.
Yeah.
They can force you into looks to where you go, oh, no, now Bryce Young has a perfect look for Tetairoa McMillan or Xavier Legette. That's a little bit of the scary part. And Carolina's defense is definitely better than Tampa Bay's. That's where there's no doubt about that, right? So that's where you give them a fighting chance. But man, they got some work on in front of them with the schedule. They could lose the next 2 games.
For the 9-2 Rams, they are in the driver's seat to be the number 1 seed.
Right.
They have the Panthers, who aren't going to be no easy task, but they have the Cardinals at home against the Lions, and they have to go to Seattle. So it's tough.
Yeah.
But then they close out with the Falcons and Cardinals. So 2 of their last 6 are against the Cardinals, who are skidding right now, and they have the Falcons on there. I mean, it feels like the Rams, if they're in the driver's seat, in my opinion, for the number 1 seed.
I agreed. I mean, they're certainly sitting pretty, and looks like, definitely better than everybody on their schedule. The Lions and the Seahawks games will be the 2 that we look at to go, I don't know. It's kind of a coin flip type of football game. We'll see. But the way they're playing, it's hard to see them losing more than 1 game, really.
That's right.
Because not only the offense has so many answers, and you feel comfortable about that. The thing that I think I'm blown away is just the defense. The defense, to me, especially after watching it last week for our podcast and doing it and just diving a little deeper into it, it's so much talent up front. It's a lot of depth. Man, the speed at the second level with the linebackers, the safeties, they've got the corner position right for the first time in a long time out there. I mean, Kobe Durant, right? Our man Emmanuel Forbes, damn good. Darius Williams has been really good for them ever since they got him back for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I just look at them right now and go, man, what's not to like? What is the only weakness I look at with the Rams right now is going, I wish they could play man-to-man a little bit better, but I think they're working on it. They know that. They know they're going to have to do it in some situations, and I think it's on their radar to get better at it.
Yeah, I mean, their secondary, like you said, everything's just clicking, and they lost Quentin Lake for the regular season. They think his elbow surgery, he'll be back for the playoffs, but it's Cam Curl, it's Kinchins.
Exactly.
Josh Wallace.
Right.
Like, they're just that speaks to what Shula has done from a coaching standpoint, because they get more out of all of these guys than anyone else. Emmanuel Forbes is like pinnacle example of that.
Definitely.
But it's everybody.
Right. And I think they know what fits their system.
Exactly.
Right? Like Emmanuel Forbes, they were like, wait, he went to Washington and likes to play man-to-man? And that was always my problem with Emmanuel Forbes when he came out of Mississippi State. I was like, yes, he's fast, but he doesn't cut well. Right? So he's not made for man-to-man. And the Rams, they play a lot of zones, right? They play, hey, press the guy at the line of scrimmage and then just don't let him beat you deep, right? And that's where you're not going to beat him deep because he can fly, and then he's long. So you throw a one-on-one ball up or anything like that, and he's got pretty good ball skills, as we know. So, yeah, the Rams, they got it all. What'd you say the word? Wagon? Is that what you said?
Yeah, they're a wagon.
Wagon. Yeah,
there's
wagon.
No stopping them right now. You like that?
Yeah, I do
you
like that.
can use that one throughout the week.
A lot.
We're going to take our first break. When we're back, we got the NFC North on Give Me the Headlines.
Let's get it! Hey, yo, check this out. Hey, we outside, but we inside. Come on. We outside, but we inside. Come on. I want everybody to go outside of their boundaries and do whatever it takes to pull a win. Come on. We gotta be desperate for greatness. Desperate for greatness. Come on. How bad do we want it? Let's find out. Here we go. Let's go, man. Let's go. On 3. 1, 2, 3, go.
It's Gimme the Headlines presented by Hyundai, and that was Jameis Winston, who always gives us a headline, win or lose.
Oh, that's
How
amazing.
great are his pregame
They really
speeches?
are. They really are. I mean, he's got great energy.
Yep.
You could see why locker rooms like having him.
Yes.
You could see there's legitimate joy, right, about people being around him. You could tell when he scores and he has success, the way the sideline acts.
They love it.
They love it, right? He's got all that. It's still not as good as the Cleveland one. The Cleveland won on the Thursday night. But call your aunties and your uncle. Tell them you're the only thing on, right?
Yep.
Something like that. That was an all-timer. I can still remember sitting there watching that, just laughing, going to my wife, like, look at him. He is hilarious. And look at the team in the locker room shaking their head like, damn, you're right. We are the only thing on. Let me call my auntie and uncle.
Because he's always got something unique each time. It's never like, today's the day. It's always like, where's he going?
110%.
It's like, we outside, but we inside over and over again. The Giants lose this game, and it was no fault of Jameis Winston. They lose 34-27 in overtime. What's the headline for this, Chris?
You win some, you lose some.
I like that one a lot.
We seem to lose some a lot, okay, when we're the New York Giants. I mean, we win some all in the third quarter, and then the fourth quarter, we lose them all the time right now. It's driving me crazy.
Well, that was thanks to 264 scrimmage yards from Jahmyr Gibbs, and it felt like it could have been even more if they just kept giving him the ball all day. He is the second player in NFL history with 200-plus rushing yards and 10-plus catches in a single game. LaDainian Tomlinson is his only other company for that in 2002. He is absolutely ridiculous.
He's, special. He's arguably the best running back in the football, right? I mean, he's right up there with Jonathan Taylor or Saquon Barkley or whoever you want. He's the hottest one in the sport right now.
Yep.
There's no denying that. Right, ever since Dan Campbell has taken over play calling, the one thing that has definitely been consistent is get Gibbs the ball. Even in the sluggish moments last week against the Eagles, it was still get Gibbs the ball, and that was the only thing working. I mean, it was a pass game that did not hit on all cylinders for the Lions throughout the game necessarily. They had their moments. I think, again, we saw another team, especially early on. We were saying this in the viewing room a lot, right? They were affecting Jared Goff. They were getting pressure up the middle and making him move just a little bit, like we talked about with the Vikings game, like we talked last week with the Eagles game, and it's not as sharp. And he certainly was not on his game that way, and the pass game couldn't get it going. And there on the other side, the Giants were just one unbelievable play after another. I mean, it was a lot of fun to watch. The trick plays, everything. It was great, all of that. But as we know, slowly but surely, the Lions started to figure things out, and they started to move the ball at will as well, and it became a shootout that was a lot of fun to watch that the Giants found themselves on the familiar side of a losing game.
Gibbs kind of feels like this generation's Jamal Charles. When I watch him, that's what I think. And Jamal was weird because he had like not in a row, but 4 seasons of just being amazing as a pass catcher and runner, but he had some injuries in between.
Right.
So people might not think of Jamal Charles as great as, some people remember
the most
him.
Underrated great running back in the history of the
like him
sport.
At his best was
special.
Kind of
exactly.
Gibbs.
Him at his best was one of the few running backs in the history of the sport to average more than 5 yards per carry. Right. And it's similar to this. Gibbs, I think, is probably even more complete because he's just quicker. Yeah. Charles was a little bit like if you saw a seam, it was like, see ya, he's out of here, right? Gibbs has got some wiggle to him. Gibbs can break arm tackles. I mean, he runs hard. He's a special football player. I said to Florio today, right, because this is something I've kind of banged the table for the last 2 years. Pete Dummelittle-Elitis will tell you. You heard me maybe even saying it as I walked in the studio today, right? Because I used to go, they give the ball to David Montgomery too much. And I used to get a lot of crap in my social media, like, why are you hating on David? And I know he's a good player.
Yep.
It wasn't about that. It was about we have Barry Sanders, the other guy. Or it's a superstar. And he can just do more. It's not a knock on David Montgomery. And it feels like about 6 or 7 weeks ago, they finally were like, yeah, what are we doing here? Like, David Montgomery for 7 was good, but if Gibbs had the ball there, that was 7D. And they finally stopped hitting their head against the wall there and have been giving him lots of touches.
So for the Giants, they are the first team in NFL history to blow a double-digit lead in 5 road games in a season. We've seen opponents affected by mystique, whether it's we got the Chiefs, like they're going to find a way. The Patriots always found a way. No matter how much they're down, they come back. For the Giants, there is this bizarro. No matter how much they're up, teams are finding a way in the fourth quarter, no matter what. And Shane Bowen obviously pays the price. The report is that the Giants have fired him this morning.
Right.
So now it's going to be, was this the defensive coordinator? Is this the roster? Which is it? Do you see things schematically with them in fourth quarters where you're like, they just aren't pressing any of the right buttons, or do you think it's also personnel?
Well, I think a little bit it's some personnel, right? It's definitely schematically we've broken it down, maybe not doing the right thing on the down and distance or whatever it is. I think also on top of that, right? There's some offensive blame to go along with it. And I think this is one where I could certainly look at that too. To me, it's inexcusable the way they get run on with that defensive front. It's inexcusable. I don't get that. And the linebackers aren't that bad either. So to where we give up some of these runs, I'm shocked by that, right? But at the same time, does the offense help out always too? No, you're up 27-24. Jameis Winston throws an interception, right? Okay, you got a chance there to kind of put your foot on the throat of the Lions a little bit more. How about the end of the football game? I still have a problem with it. I have a problem with the end of the football game. And again, you're going to see me stand on my soapbox again and talk about, can we stop the...
But you're consistent with this.
We're aggressive, and nobody can question that. It's like the media doesn't know how to go, oh, you're aggressive, you were trying to win the game. Okay, man, I don't have a follow-up.
Yeah,
I don't
right.
have a follow-up.
Right.
Yep, well, hold on, let me write it in the paper. New York Post, they're aggressive. That's good enough for me. Like, it's just, I don't agree with it. And I know this one's a little bit debatable. I understand that. But, this is a situation where you're up by 3, okay, and there's a lot of pressure on the Lions, like a lot, okay? And I think that's what analytics are missing is the psychology aspect of all this. So you're up by 3, you got the ball on the 4-yard line, you run the ball up the middle for 2 yards, they call timeout. You make them waste a timeout. The next play, they throw the ball, which I sat in the viewing room going, but just run the ball again. Run the ball. Maybe you'll score. We'll run the ball okay today. Plus, let's chew up more clock and make them waste the timeout again.
Right.
Okay? So they throw the ball there. Then they decide to run the ball on 3rd down, and they lose 4 yards trying to run it on the edge. Okay? And then we get to 4th and 6. 4th and 6. It's not like it's 4th and 2.5 or 4th and 1. It's 4th and 6. And yes, I still would have been a proponent. Kick the field goal. Go up by 6. The go up by 6 and put the pressure on them. Give yourself the psychology of, hey, something positive happened. We feel good about ourselves. Them going, oh, my gosh, we're about to lose maybe to the Giants.
Right.
We have to go and score a touchdown to win the football game.
We have to have a touchdown.
Now the pass rush can really go because they're going to probably be a little more scared to run the ball. So that aspect of it. Instead, it becomes, hey, we're up 3. Oh, we didn't get it. Well, gosh, they're going to go down and get the field goal.
Right, now we're going into overtime.
We're going into overtime.
Which we've been bad at.
It's almost like the mind goes right to that.
Yeah.
And that to me, again, like, I know we have nothing to lose as a Giants fan, but you do have something to lose. The game. You lost the game.
Right.
And there's just been a little too many of that to me and bad situational offensive play to go along with the shitty-ass defensive play in big moments. And that's why Shane Bowen's fired, and that's why they lose every game. They're up by 10 in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, 12 straight road losses. That's the longest streak in the history of the New York Giants. Kafka's 0-2 as the interim head coach, although I thought this was an overall good showing from him yesterday, despite the ending.
I mean, Jameis Winston throwing 18 completions for 366 is insane.
Right.
I mean, insane.
Bombs away.
I mean, what is that yards per completion?
With Wan'Dale Robinson as his number 1, who had a great day, by the way.
Right, great day. I mean, so there's all that. That's great. Now, I think within that, we have to say it was a little concerning with Detroit. I mean, that was a little concerning that they were able to move the ball. And not only just move the ball, I mean, there was so many plays where you're like, the Giants are wide open. Like, where is Detroit? Guys running across the field, and you're like, there's nobody in the screen. Like, what is going on? So Detroit continues to be a dangerous team, but a team that continues not to really play consistent full-team football here. And that's what you worry about. Again, another team that will say, like we're going to be fair to everybody else, we know they're good. We're holding them to they're here to go to the Super Bowl, not just to get to the wild card round. So, yeah, we're going to be a little more critical of the Lions than we are the Bears or somebody like that, right? With the Lions, we expect them to go to the Super Bowl. And then when they play like this, you just go, ooh, I don't know if that's realistic to get where they want to go. They got to fix a few things.
Keith J. Hall weighing in. He says, it's not the roster. Get this Giants team a good coach, and they win these close games.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not going to fight that there.
Right.
I mean, a coach, let's think of 2 guys right off our head right now. Ben Johnson, Mike Vrabel.
Guys that find a way. Close games.
Right. We're gonna do the right things at the end of the football game. We're gonna be mentally tough because I'm going to be on your ass every day in practice. That when we get into the tough moment of the game, you're gonna go, thank God Vrabel and Ben Johnson aren't here to get on my ass. I can just go play football. I don't have to hear them.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what mentally tough teams are. Right? That's why the head coach can't be best buddies with everybody. Right? Can't be best buddies. Like I hear that the Penn State, the new guy. The locker they want him to, the locker room loves him. The guys love him. I don't know any team that's ever been good that the guys are like, I love my head coach.
Right.
We're laughing and smiling in the locker room all the time now. Like that never happened with Bill Belichick and the Patriots or Bill Parcells and the Giants or Bill Walsh and the 49ers. Like winning is supposed to be uncomfortable until you hold the trophy and then you go,
it was all worth it. Yeah.
It was worth it. That was awesome, right?
Right. Sean Payton's like that with the Broncos.
Exactly. There you go. There's another
They're
one.
like people call Sean Payton an asshole all the time. But the Broncos have 9 wins for a reason.
Right.
And they win every close game, and it's not pretty. But it's the difference of them now versus previous years.
Your team usually takes the personality of your coach. The Rams, creative, feisty, right? Full of energy. Why? Because their freaking coach is a freaking psycho who's full of energy.
Yep.
And he's like, creative? I'll be thinking of a new play. And that's what they are. And that's usually what you get in the NFL. And, yeah, that's what we're getting Jack Diddley crap in New York right now.
Last thing from this game, I do think it had the play of the day. The Jameis Winston 33-yard catch and run was just hilarious.
I mean, I didn't think you could top the throwback to him where he threw the touchdown, the flea flicker. That, to me, I was like, man, that's the play of the day right there. And then that happened. I mean, that was the most fun we had in the viewing room, I thought, all year. We went crazy. Everybody went crazy.
Because of him breaking a tackle.
Off a DN, right. Barnes is getting clowned in the meeting today because they're like, you got stiff-armed by Jameis Winston.
And Olszewski had to kind of scramble to make a throw.
He, had good pocket presence.
He
moved up in the
like
pocket.
A college quarterback.
He did. He's like, wait, there's a little pocket here. Let me step up, and I'll throw a nice ball out there. Yeah, that was amazing. That was literally one of the first moments with all these good games I've ever had where I went, I think it's the Giants' day.
Right.
I think this is the day.
Boy, were you wrong.
Yeah, part 10.
Oh, man, Murphy's Law kicked in and everything goes wrong. All right, the Packers are our next game. They beat the Vikings 23-6. What's the headline for this game, Chris?
Micah drop.
Oh, boy, was it ever.
Yeah, it's a Micah drop because he's unreal. Myles Garrett, we know he's having an incredible year. We know that. Myles Garrett's probably playing defense end better than anybody in football. But, damn, this guy's still not far off. He's not. And he gets moved around more than Myles Garrett, right? I think, that aspect, and that's not always beneficial to sacks and everything that way because he can create so much chaos and havoc when he rushes inside, too, that it doesn't lead to stats, but it leads to, we showed a play on Football Night in America. He rushes up the middle last night. They got 3 guys on him. He knocks all 3 over. Somebody else gets the sack. The quarterback ran out of the pocket, right? Nobody's going to give Micah any stat or anything, and it's going, no, he effed the play up. He's the reason the whole play was a disaster. But within all that, Packers win the game. I get that. But do the Packers have issues? Yeah. I mean, I'm still sitting here and go, I don't feel great about the Packers offense. I mean, the game was 10-6.
It's a lot more of the same.
If they don't muff the punt, right, where the ball hits, I can't even remember who it hit, one of the blockers, and they get the ball at the 5-yard line. I mean, we're getting a defensive Minnesota Vikings. This is the way the Vikings wanted it. Oh, 10-6.
Right.
JJ can just maybe make 1 or 2 throws. Maybe our defense can make an interception and give us a short field, and then we pull off a victory, right? That's how they want to play. And the Packers, they were being controlled that way. So, yeah, they won the game. The defense dominated. But we know J.J. McCarthy's got issues. So I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, yeah, the Packers got it all right now. And then offensively, I think it's still our same things. I mean, I don't know how much of the game you got to watch, but it's still there's not a lot of short intermediate passes.
I thought it was just exactly what you and I have broken down
right?
for
If it's
5
not
straight
one-on-one, he can't throw the ball. That's all they do, right? Little shot down the field. Oh, he's one-on-one. I'll throw an out route or a comeback. Oh, he's one-on-one. I'll throw a go route. But the offense is not clicking. You can't sit here and tell me it's surgical. The good thing is they ran the ball.
Emmanuel Wilson filled in really well for Josh Jacobs.
He really did. I mean, he's a great compliment or backup or whatever. He hits the hole hard. But, yeah, I still have some of my concerns about the Packers. Again, as a team that we look at to go, they have Super Bowl potential. They have a Super Bowl roster, right? And they're not playing to those capabilities at all.
For J.J. McCarthy, 2 interceptions, it's 3rd straight game with 2. This is one, Chris, where it's going to be really hard to figure out what the Vikings do in the offseason because it feels like it's starting to reach the team's too good to just bet the house on him next year.
It's adding more pressure.
Right. But what they've invested in him, maybe it's a situation that you get somebody that can play at a serviceable level in case he does not look better over summer.
I think there's no doubt that happens.
You can't
bet
the house on him next year.
They can't have Max Brosmer as the backup next year. They need an insurance policy
Carson Wentz,
to go, right. They need something to go, wait, if it doesn't go well for 2 or 3 games, they can't go, well, we're just going to take our lumps and be 2-8, right?
No, you can't afford that.
This is why they went through the whole discussion, and I know that why they reached out to Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Because they were a little bit like, man, we're basically starting a rookie. And a rookie in that who came from Michigan where he didn't really have to throw the ball a ton anyway, so we need more reps there. But also, our team is ready right now, like you're saying.
That's
They're
the
ready.
problem. They're at a crossroads.
So that's what adds more pressure to the situation. And, yeah, he's not there yet. It's still too early. And then, of course, he has the flaws that we discussed last week on the Wednesday pod about not having versatility in throws, not having anticipation at times, no touch passes into zone windows, holding the ball too long at times in the pocket. The interceptions, they weren't good yesterday. They weren't. It didn't look good. And then on top of that, like we've talked about too, they just don't run the ball at a consistent rate either to really bring him along or help it out a little bit. But he's going to be under more scrutiny and pressure than any quarterback in the sport here down the stretch and into December.
I'm with you all the way. Our last game give me the headlines. The Bears do it again. They beat the Steelers 31-28. They keep winning these close games. What's the headline here, Chris?
You're going to go build the bear. Build a bear, all right? That's what we're going with. I had a few here, right? And Pete always helps me up, but this is build a bear because they are building something here right now. They are. Ben Johnson is the freaking man, as we've discussed already, okay? Caleb Williams, you're watching it happen right in front of our eyes. Again, I know it's not perfect, but there was another game yesterday where there was more plays and throws in rhythm, the offense. He missed a few throws, too, where I go, man, damn, Caleb Williams, you're too damn good to miss that throw right there. But this is still a learning process. And what I'll throw on top of it, too, Connor, was it kind of felt like the game was going a Steelers game kind of way.
They play this environment quite often.
Right, exactly. And you felt like, oh, gosh, they got a strip sack for a touchdown. Oh, they're running the ball today. Right? Oh, man, this is going to be the Steelers. Here they go. Right? But the Bears hung in there. Down 21-14, started to make some plays, move the ball that way. Caleb started to dice them up a little bit. Their defense, which has been a turnover machine this year, Montez Sweat gets the strip sack, right? Those were the big moments of the game. They go in at halftime. They get a stop on the defensive side of the ball. They're down 21-17, third quarter. Their defense gets a stop. Caleb and company go right down the field, score a touchdown. He throws the seam route to, Moore. What the hell is Moore's first name?
DJ?
DJ, thank you. I was going to say Dante. I couldn't come up with that. I got too many college and everything in my head. Right? I know. So DJ throws that one. Then they get I believe the strip sack the next series was Sweat. They go down and score again. They're a takeaway machine. And so to me, what I liked is, in a game where run game didn't dominate for Chicago.
Swift had nothing going.
Right.
It was actually Monungai was better than
Right. Him. Steelers had some moments of making the Bears offense look ugly, but they hung in there and then find a way to win the football game and, of course, make some plays on the offensive side of the ball and then really bear down on the defensive side of the ball where you're like, man, the first half, the Steelers moved the ball kind of up and down the field on the Bears, and the Bears found a way to kind of stop that. And the Steelers had some opportunities in the game to have the ball, make the game closer, and they can never really do that. So credit to the Bears for an all-around win there.
And to your point about Ben Johnson and his adjustments, it was just a cleaner second half for Caleb Williams. In the second half, and I thought it was a slow start to this game.
Right.
He was 9 of 14, 119 yards, so he averaged 8.5 passing yards per attempt. in the second half, and he didn't throw a pick, and he had his touchdown. And here's maybe the most important part: he got the ball out in 2.68 seconds.
So that when I said in rhythm, that's what it felt like. It felt
not
like
the 3.2.
Wasn't not to sit there.
No.
Wait, he's open, but I think I can wait for somebody to be more open, or let me make this guy miss, and then I can maybe run for 10 or throw it on the run. Oh no, it was incomplete because I threw a ball 9 million miles per hour, right? But he's learning, and he's special, and he's still not getting the credit he deserves. I mean, again, here he is, number 1 pick of the draft. The Bears were a dumpster fire last year. They keep winning games late in games. He's been clutch as hell, but I said this to Flory today, but because he paints his nails and everything,
people just don't like Caleb Williams.
The old school faction of the media and the NFL people in the NFL just can't get over that. He painted his nails orange and blue for the Bears. He can't be good at quarterback. Right? I mean, it's ridiculous and it bothers me a little bit at a personal level. But yeah, I give them credit. And then, also they had the DeAndre Swift fumble at midfield. I forgot to mention the whole thing. Right. Which was not a fumble. Let me just say.
Here we go. Yep.
He was laying on the ground and they pulled it out of his arms in the scrum, and the Steelers sold it to the refs. And then, of course, in a scrum, we couldn't see it. And the refs just, we don't know what to do. We'll give them the ball, and then we'll go to review. We'll review it. Well, they couldn't see it. And by anything you look at, I mean, he's on the ground. So what I want to say is all defenses in football, anytime there's a scrum now, take the ball out of the running back's hands when he's on the ground, have your guys point, and they might not be able to see a replay and see if you can fool one of these dumb referees and point the wrong way. But that was another moment where you were like, the Steelers made a play. Oh, here goes their D. Can the Bears, withstand all this? Yeah. And then they came back and made a 4th and 1 stop right after that. And the defense came out big. Good team win for them, and I'm pumped to watch them on Black Friday against the Eagles.
Nicholas Wheatley, 8102. Bears-Eagles will be a good game. If the Bears win, they are legit contenders.
I mean, yes. Because I'm reluctant to say legit contenders.
Me too. I've been that way.
In the playoffs? Sure. Right? Where I go, yeah, of course they can be a playoff team. And when they get in the playoffs, could they win maybe one game and be dangerous? Of course they can because of this quarterback and Ben Johnson and what they do, right? And then, Dennis Allen will do some crazy stuff in a playoff game too. But, yeah, have I looked at them yet to go, they're a team I think can make a run in the NFC? No. But to that point right there, if they win on Black Friday at Philadelphia, that'll make me recalibrate and go, okay, maybe the Bears are a little bit better. And then one thing I'll say about the Bears, I do think they'll be able to protect against the Eagles a little, right? The Bears can protect. Their O-line pretty damn good. And then we know they can make plays. And they're a team that I think can throw the ball outside the numbers like we talked about against the Eagles.
Because of his arm and the receivers.
Now, can the Bears defense hold up and all that? That'll be another thing we'll have to see. But I hear whoever said that.
Yeah, Nicholas Wheatley. Yeah, 24 takeaways for the Bears. That's the most in the NFL this season. Richie, 3208, weighing in, says the Bears feel a bit like the Vikings last year. The defense is causing a crazy number of turnovers, but that's never sustainable. Great season for them and something to build off, but probably a small step below.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's where you and me feel about it, right? I think if we were to feel, we still feel like they're probably a defensive player or two away on that side of the ball to go, right? It'd be nice if they can get their secondary healthy because, it'd be if we can get Johnson and Kyler Gordon out there on a consistent basis, I think that will help. But I'm with you at Richie 3208. I feel the same way. It's a great year. Everything's going in the right direction. Ben Johnson has got the organization on the right track, and he's got the number one asset in your organization looking like he's legit in Caleb Williams. And, yeah, you heard me say it. If I had to redraft them all again, I was wrong about Drake May, but I'd still take Caleb Williams number 1. I just see too much there that I just go, I like it, and it's special.
You know who I want to see on this team next year?
Yeah.
Jeremiah Love.
Oh, my gosh. That would be amazing.
Yeah. No disrespect to Swift, and I love Kyle Monungai as much as anyone. But if you put Jeremiah Love in the Swift role and keep Monungai as your number 2.
Yeah, you could have some Jameer Gibbs, Detroit Lions stuff. I would think Ben Johnson would like
thinking
that
the
very,
same
very
thing.
much.
Yeah, they're going to win. They're winning too many games, though. The Steelers, they're 2-4 in their last 6 games after they started 4-1. TJ Watt did pass his brother JJ, of course, in career sacks as he gets to 115. JJ finished with 114.5 before he moved into the broadcast booth on that strip sack that resulted in a Steelers touchdown.
Watt brothers are legends.
Man, they are. But the Steelers right now, rough waters, it feels like. And we talked about this before it happened because the books were on the Ravens, and they're looking correct right now. Right. It's just, as you look at their remaining schedules, I mean, the Steelers play home against Buffalo, and that's a big game for Buffalo now.
Definitely.
They're at Baltimore, against Miami, at Detroit, at Cleveland.
They could lose every one of those.
Detroit,
I mean,
it's
Steelers
possible.
aren't good enough for me to sit here and go, oh, yeah, they're going to win, right? I mean, they can win some of those, but they could lose every one.
The Ravens is a softer schedule.
Yes.
It's Bengals, Steelers, Bengals.
Right.
Okay, the Pats aren't easy, the Packers aren't easy,
Right.
and then the Steelers.
Right.
But, I mean, yeah, the Bengals defense doesn't scare you at all. That's a gauntlet for the Steelers. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to rush back because of it, but I don't know if that's going to make a significant
I don't know if it is either. I'm not so sure. I mean, the offense, they did some good things on offense yesterday.
Right.
You know, Mason Rudolph did a good job, but what I was more impressed with was their creative run game. They ran all these sweeps and speed sweeps and reverses.
Gainwell involved.
Yeah, that were I found really, really creative. But yeah, the Steelers, they got some work in front of them, and they, you know, to your point too, the Ravens, they're not perfect. We're going to talk about them, I know, coming up.
Yep.
But their D is playing good, and their offense doesn't feel like it's playing very good, but they're winning football games. And I sit here and just go, I think it's only a matter of time with their offense. The Steelers, to your point and what you talked about with them, hey, they were, you know, an older team that I feel like tried to patch it together for one more run, and you're just seeing that they're not good enough.
Limited.
They're limited.
Yeah.
They are limited, especially on that defensive side of the ball, and schematically on the offensive side of the ball. And we know they're not real sexy that way either.
That was Give Me the Headlines presented by Hyundai. We got one more break on our YouTube Live this morning, but more to come when we're back, including Shedeur Sanders getting a win in his first NFL start.
Prime time.
DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the app and use promo code CORNERBACK when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours.
Let's take a look at the odds to make the playoffs in the AFC, of course, of the non-division leaders here, Chris. The Chargers at 7-4. It's been a little bit of a rocky road for them. They're still minus 120. Jacksonville, 7-4. A very odd 7-4 Jacksonville is at minus 320. The Bills 7-4. They're minus 600 because the faith in Josh Allen and the team to make this making the playoffs. While the Steelers are plus money, the Texans plus money, and then the Chiefs at 6-5. They're still minus 220.
That's what's amazing to me about the AFC, right? To me, again, it's. I don't think they have as many complete teams as the NFC.
No,
and it's wide open, right? I mean, I look there. Yeah, I'm a little surprised the Jaguars have that good of odds, right? Because it's very inconsistent, and they have a quarterback that, like we talk about every week, he's kind of famous for doing some really dumb stuff twice, 3 times a game.
They win in spite of him.
I mean, they certainly did yesterday. Had some
right, not all the time.
Yeah,
I should correct myself.
No, but I know what you mean. It's for a guy that's making $55 million a year. That's what we're talking about. You know, the crazy thing too is. And again, I don't know if there's any perfect team in the AFC. And then you go, here come the Ravens, right? Who are in the playoffs right now. We know the Chiefs will be scary if they get in. And you know the other team I'm going to say, because if the Houston Texans get in, nobody's going to want to play them. Nobody. The Houston Texans will be capable of going on one of those 2000 Baltimore Ravens, right? Or the Broncos of 2015, where like their offenses aren't very good, but their defenses can get them to the Super Bowl. Like those are, I mean, you don't want to see Houston and Kansas City if you get in the playoffs. But the AFC is really interesting right now.
Jacksonville, they beat the Cardinals 27-24 in overtime. They improved to 7-4. They hold the 6th seed in the AFC playoff picture. They're 1 game behind the Colts, despite all this, in the AFC South. They played the Colts week 14 and week 17. Trevor Lawrence, the story of the day was not as much the 3 touchdowns, but the 3 picks in this game, Chris.
Right, 4 turnovers in general.
Right, the fumble as well.
The fumble that Walter Nolan took was considered a fumble, not an interception. So that was 7-0. I mean, threw another one bad in the end zone, started the third quarter in his own area, tried to throw the ball to the back when there was 2 people on him, interception. So that's what you just don't know what you're going to get from Jacksonville. You know, yesterday was a day where they ran the ball. They were making some plays in the passing game, right? You felt like they were the better team on the football field, but he makes a few mistakes here and there like he always seems to do. And all of a sudden you're like, wait, We're in a ball game here? What's going on? And then on top of that, Jacksonville would be another team that I will sit here and tell you that do we ever kick field goals? Do we ever do anything like that anymore? They were in a similar situation down at the goal line, up by 3. Okay, up by 3. Third and, let me just get to it, okay? Up by 3 at the 19-yard line. With 1:48. Like, it's 3rd and 1. Okay, they run it up the middle. They don't get it. That's fine. Kick the field goal.
Right.
Go up by 6.
Right.
Why? I don't understand. Now, okay, you don't get it, and you're a team that has shown to be dysfunctional and crazy in stupid moments a little bit. Like, we don't know. You're not that consistently good to where we're like, oh, they always execute at the right time. The quarterback always does the right thing, right? They don't get it. They throw a ball deep down the sideline to Tim Patrick, all right? On top of that, to accentuate my point, they didn't line up in a proper formation, which again goes back to the quarterback. The quarterback is always responsible, unless you're a rookie, to go, wait, are we legal? I mean, that's a part of the checklist. So they don't do that, and then they give the short field, and it's like, hey, come on, tie the game up and put us in danger of losing and getting upset here. I just don't get it. I don't get that. The Jaguars have some talent, but they're all over the place at times, and it drives me crazy.
Yeah, and it got real scary for them at the end of regulation.
Yes.
I mean, it was really just like
hanging on for dear life.
Hanging on for dear life.
Right.
It was real close to a walk-off loss, not going into overtime. Arizona now, though, they're 1-8 since they started the season 2-0. They just haven't been able to find a way to win any of these close games, despite some positive signs. Another really good week for Michael Wilson.
Yeah.
You know, stepping up as the number 1 in the absence of Marvin Harrison, but the defense has been, I think, a pretty big disappointment overall. Chris, Walter Nolan, getting him in the return, like back on the field, has been a nice boost for them, but they're a weird team. I just wonder if they're going to make a change this offseason. Or does Gannon get a little bit more time, and maybe they change the quarterback?
It's going in the wrong direction right now. It doesn't look good there. They got a quarterback issue. They've played we're going to draft and build this complete football team, but yet we sit here now in year 3 of the process and go, there's no difference makers on either side of the ball.
That's the
right?
thing.
That's the
it's
problem.
A lot of guys.
That's where it's like they almost tried to take the like Monty Ossenford tried to take the New England in its prime thing, where it's like, we're not going to reach for anybody. We're just going to have a lot of depth and versatility and that. But, like, they already had special players on the roster, so that allowed them to do that. Since that's where I think, like, you got to look at the context. Like, Gronk was there. Brady was there. There was, D tackles and Vince Wolf and all these other special players to where, you could do that. They started off with no special players, and let's get all these middle-of-the-pack guys, and now it's like, wait, now we need special players, and you see they never have anybody special that can make a big play in a big moment.
That's exactly right. Our next game here, the Patriots beat the Bengals 26-20. This was a really close game, top to bottom.
Yeah.
The Patriots, though, despite all that, they're 10-2. That's the best record in the NFL. It's New England's first time with outright the best record in the NFL through Week 12 or later since 2016. Of course, they won the Super Bowl that year. 9-game winning streak. That's the longest active streak in the NFL. They're 6-0 on the road this season. That's probably the most impressive stat. Mike Vrabel is the first head coach since Andy Reid in 2013 with the Chiefs with a winning streak of 9+ games in his first season with the team. Despite all these positive nuggets, Chris, I think the story for this might be Will Campbell and Jared Wilson both getting carted off their offensive line. Vrabel said he'll be out more than a week or two on Campbell, so they're going to be tested.
That's
a
positive sign, though.
Yeah,
I was afraid it was going to be like, oh no.
It seems it could be more sprain than
MCL
tears.
or something like that, right? It looked like it. It didn't look egregious. It felt like he got his leg out of the ground to where the knee didn't get put in a tough spot for too long. Weird game in that the Patriots controlled the game and were on the verge of really blowing the Bengals out at one point.
At the goal line.
I mean, they had, I believe, like, I want to go through it, but they had a 2-drive thing there where it was like they had 10 plays at the inside the 10-yard line and could not do anything with it, right? And you felt like they were on the precipice of blowing the Cincinnati Bengals out, and maybe that would happen, but just could not punch it in those moments, right? Here they are. I got it now. They're up 17-13. They got the ball, right? They got the ball 1st and 5 on the 5 with 11:16 left in the third quarter. They ran 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 plays inside the 11-yard line. And let me just say, 8 of those were from the 1-yard line.
Right, that's the real key.
They never scored. They got nothing there. They got down the next drive and got down there close again, had to settle for a field goal. And they had another situation where they got down there close and could not punch it in for a touchdown. So that was really the key to the game, in my opinion. A game where they didn't play their best. They made a few mistakes. Drake May had the pick 6, all of that, but still found a way to win the game, even though they kind of bungled it and could have really kind of put the Bengals away earlier than expected. But they found a way to win the game, and they're damn good, the New England Patriots.
So now the question is, and T. Higgins left this game with a concussion.
Yeah.
I mean, should Joe Burrow even come back?
I don't think so.
I'm a little surprised. I know he's wired a little differently that I'm sure he's pushing to.
Yeah, right.
But man, like it would be really disappointing if he comes back in a meaningless end of the season and he gets hurt in any capacity.
Exactly right.
Any capacity.
Right.
For nothing.
Right.
For an organization that, sorry, it's not worth it.
He is the organization.
It's exactly right.
They're not going anywhere. Like, it doesn't, I don't care. Even if they win out, I mean, does it guarantee them a playoff spot?
No.
Probably not. They're going to need help, and they're not going to win out. It's an interesting thing because I had heard last week from some people I trust. I said this in the viewing room yesterday. It seemed like he was on track, that he was going to start the game on Sunday. And then I don't know if the organization, they started to have some conversations about, like, wait, what are we doing here? Like, are we really going to throw him out here right now? He's practiced a few days and we're just going to throw him out there? And then maybe Joe Flacco finally being like, oh, I can play, I'm going to be good. That made them pump their brakes there. But I'm like with you. I mean, I wouldn't want him back. If he hurts that toe again, people don't realize how serious that injury is. It could go into next year. I wouldn't risk it. It's over. The season's over. They don't need him. Just play Joe Flacco and let Joe Burrow hang out and get back.
All right, so the Patriots keep rolling, and the Bengals have an interesting decision with Joe Burrow this week in the same division as the Bengals. The Ravens take care of business against the Jets 23-10. Not going to lie, Chris, obviously was covering this game. Wasn't pretty.
No.
First half, Jets are winning at the half. The Ravens get booed off the field.
Jets controlled the first half.
Yes.
Right?
The Ravens get booed off of the field. Despite this was their 5th straight win after starting the season 1-5. And they're tied for the AFC North lead with Pittsburgh, which I get that's all that matters right now. Lamar Jackson, mobility-wise, is not Lamar Jackson.
No, their offense is not the same right now. They haven't been good on offense since Lamar Jackson got back.
No,
right? I mean,
he's not. I would say he's 70%.
Maybe
at best.
Maybe
there's just no way. There was so many times where it's like, oh God, he's going to run, and then he'd break the pocket, but he wouldn't run,
or didn't turn it on. You were like, wait,
he kind of hesitated.
There was a few where I was like, is he going to run around the corner here, right? And you were like, oh damn, he didn't get around the corner, like to where it certainly makes me question that. But yeah, the offense has not got it going there. They have not been smooth ever since really early on in the football year. The encouraging thing is their defense has been damn good.
It's coming together.
It is. It is. It's work. But like you said, it wasn't pretty yesterday. I mean, they had to work and go down and kick a field goal just to be down 7-3 at halftime.
Right.
Then they had to work and they had a long drive, right, when they first got the ball in the third quarter. But it was work. It wasn't easy. And then we got into my favorite thing. We're shutting them down all game long. We're down 3 points, but we're going to go for it on our own 40-yard line. I know. I'm sorry to be that guy. I guess I'm old man Chris Simms.
No, people were pissed about this one.
I just don't get it. You're playing great. Your defense is doing good.
I know.
They're struggling. They're feeling the pressure. They're being booed at home.
Yeah.
You let them off the hook. So you have that. They go down and score. They never really look back. And then you think, oh, all right, the offense for the Jets looked a little better with Tyrod Taylor yesterday. They have a passing offense.
The score lied. It looked a lot better.
Exactly. They had an offense
John
yesterday.
Mechie was rolling.
But unfortunately, you had your once every other game running back fumble as he's running into the end zone play, right? Which I feel like is literally every other game.
It ends the game.
And that ended the game.
Yep. So the Jets on the defense, strong as their defense was, they just don't create any takeaways. They're the first team in NFL history with only one takeaway through 11 games of a season.
None in America.
Feels impossible. They don't have a takeaway in America. They do not have. They do not have a takeaway. I think it was Al Michaels that loved that.
Oh,
it's
such
Thursday
a great
night.
one.
He kept referencing it, and I'm like, he's not wrong. You can't lie there. So the more important thing is here, the AFC North is exactly what we expected. It's going to come down to the Ravens playing the Steelers in weeks 14 and 18. Good job by the schedule makers.
Oh, it's definitely a good one.
Schedule gods delivered on this one.
But I certainly trust the Ravens more than I do the Steelers right now. That's
for sure. From a top-to-bottom team aspect of it.
Definitely.
The Seahawks beat the Titans 30-24. The Titans got a late touchdown in this one that actually covered the spread here. The Seahawks were favored by 12.5.
This is my best bet. It's one of my best bets.
This is one of my keys as well.
I mean, it's one where I come away and I go, yeah, I didn't win the best bet, but I feel good about my pick. Like they were this close to just totally obliterating the Titans. Like
the whole game. It's ridiculous.
It is unreal. And then the punt return happened, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I
was furious.
It was one thing after another where you're like, they're about to end this and win by 30 or 25. But Cam Ward made a number of good throws.
Cam Ward played good in this game.
He played really good in the game. There's no doubt. I think he made the most plays of any game all year, right?
And that's a good defense. That's the thing where I'm like, Cam Ward's coming.
Definitely. But good bounce back for Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Right? I was surprised that Seattle's defense let Tennessee have as many plays they did in the past game. That was surprising to me. But nonetheless, I mean, Sam Darnold, that Seahawks offense, Kenneth Walker, you get him in space, he's crazy, and then we know JSN is just it's next level. I mean, it's next level. He's entered a stratosphere that I didn't think he'd ever enter, and he's arguably the best receiver in football. I mean, him and Jamar Chase, Puka, but I mean, really, to me, it's him and Jamar Chase are the two best in the game right now.
I would agree with you. 167 receiving yards, franchise record, over 1,300 yards, 1,313 to be exact, and yes, you see it on the right there. He's on pace for an NFL record, 2,029 yards. He might get Calvin Johnson's record.
He's got a legit chance, because they're going to attack and they're going to continue to throw the football. That's what you know about Seattle. I mean, they don't look to dink and dunk. They look to make some haymakers, and I'm looking at they got some tough defenses, though, so he'll have his work cut out for him down the stretch.
For the Titans, their 10th straight home loss. That's the longest active streak in the NFL. This is the worst 11-game start in franchise history. They're 1-10. They're on the road to picking first overall in the NFL draft for the second year in a row. Our next game, the Browns beat the Raiders 24-10 in Shedeur Sanders' first NFL start. He's the first quarterback to win in his first NFL career start with Cleveland since Eric Zaire in 1995. I don't even know who that is. I think I was 3 years old or 4 years old.
He played in Georgia. He was a good quarterback.
Okay.
He was a really good college quarterback. didn't do much in the NFL.
Okay.
Right?
Well, he won his first start with the Browns.
He won his first start with the Browns.
So he's back in the
1995.
conversation.
Right, exactly right.
Welcome back, Eric. Myles Garrett, though, the story with this team. We're going to get into Shedeur. Don't worry, everyone. 3 sacks. He leads the NFL with 18. He needs 5 more to set the single-season sack record. I think he's going to do it. Bold take.
I think so, too.
Yes.
I mean,
good for him. I would love to see Myles Garrett have that record.
It would be awesome to see him have that record. I would love to see them be, whatever, 5-12, and then have the defensive MVP or the defense. That would be amazing.
He would get it
because that's rare, right?
Yes.
You see a losing team to that capacity,
usually,
right?
Yep. You're absolutely right.
So that'd be a cool thing too. You know me. I'm a sucker for some of these defenses. I love watching the Browns D.
They're awesome.
I feel bad for them just because you just go, man, if they had a good offense, how good would they really be, right?
Did you see his face when Shedeur had the bomb to Isaiah Bond?
Yes.
He looked like he saw the gates of heaven.
I know.
Like he was like, I've never seen
We haven't had a play like that since I don't know when. Since Joe Flacco 2 years ago, right?
It was wild to just watch that reaction. The Browns had 10 sacks in this game.
10 sacks were everywhere. I mean, the Raiders are the worst team in football. And we kind of hit that last
Chip
week.
Kelly fired, by the way, if everybody missed that.
Right. I mean, so they're a disaster, and you look at them and you go, what is there really to build on there? There's not a lot. I mean, I would not be surprised if Pete Carroll's gone after the year as well. But the Browns, the D special, and then did Shedeur give them a bump? I think so.
Looked like it.
Definitely. Shedeur at least made some plays. That's what I'll say. I mean, they're not a team that I expected to be surgical and just move the ball down the field at will and do whatever they want.
Right.
But they're a team where if the quarterback can make a few plays with that defense, you go, oh, good luck. I mean, they're the kind of defense that's like you just get them up 10-3 and they're 7-3 and you go, oh, they got a chance. I mean, that's what it is. Shedeur, I said this to Florio this morning. I mean, again, I'm just basic look test. I like the look of him better than Dylan Gabriel out there.
It's not close.
It's not close. Thank you.
It's just ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. Like, Shedeur Sanders doesn't play like, he plays big in the pocket. He wasn't overwhelmed. And when there was pressure around him, he was still cool and calm to go make a play and a big throw down the football field. And so, I like that. And then, of course, his belief in self and all of that, he's got something to him there that you can't deny. Now, is it perfect? No, I know that. But damn, like I said, they're a team there. If he can just hit the ones he's supposed to hit and then make 1 or 2 plays every game, they'll be a pain in the butt with Shedeur at quarterback. So good for him getting the win. He's been through a whole lot there. Some of it's been his own doing. Right. But at the same time, he gets a lot of attention that he doesn't want as well. And good for the Browns and good for Shedeur. And let's see if he can build on this next week.
Mr. Jabberwocky 777 said, Shedeur stayed in the pocket and delivered the ball while taking hits. A lot of OCs could work with that.
Yeah, exactly right.
Really
and that's to me where Dylan Gabriel does not thrive. He doesn't feel comfortable in the NFL pocket. He's too small.
Yeah.
And he's unwilling to hang in there to make some of the throws that are needed to be made in the NFL to have a successful offense. And that's to me where Shedeur Sanders gives him a better opportunity.
I mean, I don't know what more people want about the Raiders. This is, like you said, maybe the worst team in the NFL. It's going to be a fascinating offseason to see what makeover they have. It gets worse every week at this point for them.
Does.
Our last game, the Falcons beat the Saints 24-10. The Falcons break a 5-game losing streak. Kirk Cousins now 8-8 as Atlanta's starting quarterback since the start of last season. Bijan Robinson has 1,396 scrimmage yards. That's the most through 11 games of a season in Falcons history. This is the Saints' worst 11-game start since 1999.
Yeah, it's they had their chances yesterday.
Right, they just couldn't.
They did
break through.
No, they didn't break through. I mean, Tyler Shuck fumbles to start the game.
Yep.
Right, he throws an interception. They had, you heard me joke about this before the show. They ran 10 plays from the 1-yard line or inside the 3 in 2 different drives and came away with 3 points. That really was the game. It was a point in the game where, and I believe it might have been 16-10 or it might have been the 16-7, right in that range, right? Because one of those, they kicked the field goal to make it 16-10. But you kept going, oh my gosh, they're going to score here and they're going to make a game of things here. But they went for it on 4th down, and they ran a toss sweep to Taysom Hill, who tried to throw the ball. The ball got batted down, so they got nothing that time from the 1-foot line. And then the next time down, they got down there again, and they had to settle for a field goal. And that really was the biggest key to the game, in my opinion. Kirk Cousins did some good things on the offensive side of the ball. The big pass to Mooney, of course, and then we know Bijan had a few plays there, and that just was enough offense on a day where New Orleans couldn't capitalize, and the rookie quarterback made a few mistakes.
Before we go, let's
Yeah.
remind everyone the National Dog Show presented by Purina, Thanksgiving at noon on NBC and Peacock as you're getting ready for a day of football. How about a little morning or a midday of the pups?
Hey, this is my favorite weekend of the year.
I love this.
It's
You're a
great weekend.
huge Thanksgiving guy.
I love Thanksgiving. I love to wake up and put on the Thanksgiving Day parade, and then I let it filter right into this because the Thanksgiving Day parade's on NBC. And I keep my eye on this as I'm going maybe back and forth with the pregame show for the 1 o'clock, Detroit Lions game. But I'll tune in. I mean, you saw right there, a German Shepherd was on there. I got a German Shepherd.
Yep.
I was told they made this for my liking.
A custom.
Then my small dog, Toto, who you've met.
Yes.
They had a Toto dog on there, right? A Karen Terrier, right? So they gave me some good talking points. But, I always I don't like when the small dogs win it. I'm always like, that's not a real dog. They can't win a dog show. Okay?
No, I have a Great Pyrenees, so
Please
you know where I stand.
Don't hate me too much. I do have a small dog, just so you know. I have a big dog and a small dog, but the small ones shouldn't win the award.
No, they're not. They're just a little bit oversized cats, is what I like to say. Nice animals.
Right.
But we're big dog people here on Simms Unbuttoned. Man, and then you and I have Big Ten Friday.
Yep.
We have College Countdown Saturday.
Yep.
And then we start all over again Sunday.
I won't be there Friday. I got a family thing to do, but Saturday.
Don't worry, I'll hold it down for you.
Yeah. Hold it down for me.
I got you covered.
All right, but we got a lot of football here at NBC. We still got a lot to go. This is our last weekend of college football, but as we know, football, NFL goes on all year long. You know where to find Connor. You can find him here with me or with Matthew Berry and crew. Connor, as always, thanks for hosting the show. Hope all the homies had a good one out there. Appreciate everybody tuning in, sending in some comments. We're back here tomorrow live, 2 p.m. We're going to break some things down. So come back in, join us. If you got some questions that you need me to answer between now and tomorrow, now is your freaking time to get them in and go, hey, can you get that dumb blonde Chris Simms to break this down for me? I'm dying to know what happened. I'm that guy for you. I'm the dumb blonde that'll do it. All right, everybody, peace out, homies. We'll see you next time. Connor, thanks again.
Good stuff.
You're the man, bro. See ya. Peace out. One. Yo, what up, homies? On today's Chris Simms Unbuttoned, Connor and I recap all of Week 12. And let me do it again. 3, 2, 1. Yo, what up, homies? On today's Chris